Welcome back, VA users. In today's session, we are going to see how to configure the product into the VA system. So before we move on to the VA system, let's go through with the product definition. A product is an object or a system made available for consumer use. It is anything that can be offered to market to satisfy the desire or the need of the customer. In retailing, products are often referred to as merchandise, and in manufacturing, products are bought as raw material and then sold as finished goods. Service is also regarded as a type of products. A product is the item offered for sale. A product can be a service or an item. It can be physical or in virtual or cyber form. Every product is made at a cost and each sold at a price. The price can be charged depends on to the market, the quality, the marketing, and the segment that is targeted. Each product has a useful life after which it needs replacement. There are four types of product can be generated into the VA system: item, services, expenses, resources. So the items are the products that has a physical presence. The example is laptop, pen, washing machine, AC. All these referred as item type products. While there would be the services, these kind of product doesn't exist physically. However, these are restricted in terms of availability, whereas resource and are restricted. Example is internet service, telephone service, electricity service. The third type is basically the expense type. These kind of products doesn't have the physical presence. These can be rent, petrol expenses. So all these expense type of product can be generated as a product into the VA system instead of charges. Then we have the resources. So services are not restricted in terms of availability, whereas the resources are restricted in terms of availability. The example is pretty simple. A resource works for you 8 hours in a day. So it is restricted to 8 hours only, while the services are never restricted. So these would be utilized, like if I will take an example of internet services, there is always available 24 hours, while the resources are restricted in terms of availability. So note, a combined example of expense and resources is a consultant who incurs some travel expenses which can be invoiced to your customer. So that is one of the combined example of expenses and resources. Now let's move on to the VA system and we'll configure at least a product and we'll showcase how we would be able to configure products into the VA system. So let's move on to the VA system. I'm at my login screen at ABC admin. Let's log in and we create a product. So I have a window called product available. So let's search the product. So here is the product. And say new record. Now if I want to configure a product, I just need to give a name. So I would enter a certain name, let's say a mobile iPhone 6 I want to create as a product. So there is an iPhone 6. I will copy this and I will put the name here. Thereafter, if there is a UPC or a EAN number, now the UPC number is the universal product code, while EAN number is I think European article number or something. So if you are not aware of, then you would be able to open the help and we'll see what is basically the UPC and EN. So it is the European article number. Okay. So if you want to enter that, however, this field is a non-mandatory field. So right now I'm not entering this. The stock keeping unit, you would be able to enter your SKU. Now the product type, it is one of the mandatory fields, so I'm selecting it as item because it has a physical presence. So which product category it is belongs to, at the moment I do have only two. So let's create one of the product categories. So if I want to create a new product category, I would be able to add a new product category called mobile iPhones So here it is, the name is this, and it is weighted average, and say organization, and I would save this. Move on to the product and requery or refresh. So I would place it into the iPhone. So you can see, as soon as I will select iPhone, the system removes everything since there is no value set it up at this particular place. So if I will say item, then I would say it is a finished good. Then I would say text category is GST, and I will save. Let me change my category to round. So at the moment there is nothing. If I will select iPhone, all these fields gets filled automatically by the system. So it is a stocked item, it should be marked as true. It is not a free of cost item, so it should be false. It is not a bill of material, it is not a summary level. So rest everything is all well. So what we will do, so we'll see rest other. There is no adjustment is needed. It is purchased. It can be consumed or not be, so it is not a consumable item. So that's all for me in terms of the product. So this is the minimum values that we need to push in here at the product level. However, there are many other non-mandatory fields that can be entered at this particular place. So here the another important thing that I forgot to tell you is basically the unit of measurement. So the unit of measurement is each. So we just need to define as each. Now if I want to generate a bill of material, then you would be able to see these three tabs. If you do not have the manufacturing module installed, then I would suggest you will fill the values here at this particular place is bill of materials. So the values or the fields would be available or shown when it is marked as true. If manufacturing module is installed into the VA system, then move on to the BOM, define your BOM here, and thereafter select your BOM components at this particular place. If you have some substitute of this product, then you would be able to enter the substitute. If there is any related product is there, then you just need to enter the related product. So these two tabs majorly utilized into the pharma industries. So if you have such a requirement that you just want to place a substitute and the related products, then you would be able to enter here. Thereafter, there is a certain replenishment rules to be defined for the products that we have already gone through at the level of the warehouse. So I'll create a video and will showcase you the replenishment rules, how it works into the VA system when we'll discuss about the business transactions. Thereafter, at the time of the purchasing, when the values or the vendors has to be picked up automatically, let's say from the requisition to the purchase order. So this settings would be utilized by the system. So you just need to define which is your current vendor. So presently we do not have the vendor, so we are not utilizing anything here presently. Then this product lies at which particular locator, you would be able to select that locator at this particular place. If you have defined at the level of the warehouse multiple locators, it would be recommended that you will select your locator at this particular place, because into the warehouse management system, this tab is utilized by the system to generate the task for the sales. Thereafter, we just need to define the purchase price list. So if I would say I do not have the price list available presently, so we'll see how to create the price list. So presently I have a default price list where I'm just defining my price as 35,000. List price is the maximum retail price, 30,000. Standard price is the price on which normally the sale purchase happens, and this is the limit price. That below this price, if it is the sales price list, then you will incur the loss if you sell below the limit price. If you are purchasing the material below the limit price, it means you are not purchasing the good quality product. So that is the thought behind here. So list is MRP, standard price is the usual sale or purchase price, the limit price is that below this price. If you are purchasing, then you are not purchasing a good quality product, or there might be some other reason for the limit price. Similarly, if you are selling it below the limit price, it means you are not generating any profit. There might be certain loss to you. So that is the price tab. Thereafter, you just need to define if there is any download URL of yours. Then right now it is informative tab. Then you do have the transaction. All the transaction into the system taken place for this particular product, you would be able to see all the details of that of those transaction of this product at this particular tab. Then you have the unit of measurement. If you purchase this material into some other units, you would be able to define, let's say I just want to say each 2 dozen, I would be able to define so let's say each 2 dozen, so my multiplier rate is going to be 12 here. So in this way I would be able to define my unit of measurement conversions. Product attribute, again you would be able to define your product attributes if there are attributes, and your PC and EN number is the mandatory fields here for which attribute you are defining. So the attributes will cover in some other videos, and thereafter we'll link up the attributes with the certain products before the transactions. So that is the product attributes, and thereafter there is a default accounting. So all the accounts that are linked with the product category gets copied here. Now one of the interesting thing is there are many customers used to ask that can we define a separate ledger code for the inventory count for each product? Yes, it is possible into the VA system and you would be able to define the inventory code based on the product categories, or you can define a single inventory code, and the system is capable enough to pull up the reports based on products and based on that particular ledger code, since the product is a accounting dimension to the VA system. Next is basically there's some other tabs, so we'll let you know on these tabs later on. Presently these tabs are not functional, and we'll let you know when these are functional. So these are basically the product master configuration into the VA system. So you would be able to even upload the images here for the product. So that is how you can configure the product into the VA system. Similarly, you would be able to define the other products called service, item, and resources. So if you want to define those in a similar fashion, you would be able to define the expenses and the services or your resources as a product at this particular window. So that's all in this video. I hope by going through with this particular video, you would be able to configure your products into the VA system. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.